So hello everyone, welcome back with our session. So here we are with the day 11 and here we'll discuss 25 most important questions which are for all the RRB and for all the SSC examinations. So let us check who all are present. So we have Utkarsh. So he's the first one to join here. So hello Utkarsh, how are you? So let's start with the first question of the day. The first question is, which physical mechanism explains why microwave ovens heat food containing moisture efficiently without heating the surrounding air? So the option number A is infrared radiation absorption. Option number B is thermal conduction in air. Third one is molecular resonance and dielectric heating of water. And the option number D is nuclear fission energy absorption. So what do you think should be the correct answer here? Uh, so Ankita is also here. So hello Ankita, good afternoon. So Utkarsh is saying C may be the answer. Okay, but it's C 100%. You are correct. So C is the correct answer. So yes, option number C is the perfect answer. Let me explain you about it in detail. So microwaves 2.45 gigahertz frequency pass through the food and rapidly rotates the polar water molecules back and forth. So here's the image that is given. So this rapid rotation generates frictional thermal energy directly inside the food. So air and non-polar containers, that is glass or ceramics, they do not absorb microwaves, staying relatively cool. So this question was always there in our mind. So why is it happening that tumbler or whatsoever utensil is there, it's not getting hot, but food is getting hot? So this was the reason behind it. Now understood. So Utkarsh, salute man, your answer was absolutely correct. What about next question? Which physical quantity remains constant for an object moving in a uniform circular motion on a flat surface? So is it kinetic energy and speed? Is it velocity vector? Is it centripetal acceleration vector? Or is it linear momentum vector? So it's talking about an object which is moving in a uniform circular motion. So guys, when an object moves in a uniform circular motion, at that time, velocity keeps on changing. Velocity is a vector quantity, we know that, right? But speed remains constant. And since speed is constant here, so we can say yes, this is correct. What about kinetic energy? So kinetic energy and speed both are going to remain constant, and here the correct answer will be option number A. So Utkarsh, Ankita, what is the correct answer? The correct answer is option number A. So let us go with the explanation now, what I mentioned. So magnitude of the speed remains constant, but the direction continuously changes, for because of which we can say that velocity is changing. And speed and kinetic energy. For the kinetic energy, we have a formula that is half mv square, where m stands for mass and v stands for velocity. They are scalar and hence they remains constant. So what are the changing quantities? So velocity, centripetal acceleration, and the linear momentum, they all constantly changes with the direction. So that's why option number A was the correct answer. What about next? The next question is this. Why does a properly cut diamond display exceptional brilliance and sparkle compared to an ordinary glass replica? Option number A is high thermal conductivity. Option number B is low optical refractive index. Option number C is high electrical resistance. And the option number D is high refractive index and very small critical angle. So what do you think, guys? What should be the correct answer for this case? Hmm. Arey wah, that's great. So Utkarsh and Ankita, both of you are going with option number D, and both of you are correct. So yes, the correct answer is high refractive index and very small critical angle. And here, always remember, whenever someone discusses regarding TIR, we need to remember two conditions. The first condition is ray of light will travel from denser to rare medium. That's the condition number one. And the second one is angle of incidence must be greater than critical angle. So yes, in this case, option number D was the correct answer. Let's go with the explanation now. So the explanation is diamond has a very high refractive index where the value is 2.42. Achha, one more thing, guys, why there is no such unit given? Because refractive index is the ratio of the speeds of this the speed of light in the vacuum. Oh, sorry, the speed of light in vacuum is and the speed of light in that particular medium. So whenever you just take the ratio of the speed of lights, so it will units will actually cancel out each other. That's the reason. Critical angle of the diamond and diamond air interface is extremely small, and that's 24.4 degree. Okay, next. Which law of thermodynamics defines the concept of temperature and forms the physical basis for thermometer operation? Is it first law of thermodynamics, zeroth law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics, or is it third law of thermodynamics? What do you think should be the correct answer here? And all the candidates who have joined for the very first time, you can just like this session, and also you can subscribe the channel so that you can revise these particular questions, and these questions are the most important ones. You can just see the level also. So I'm not taking those basic levels of the questions which you will find normally on the YouTube. So these questions are kept in the paid batches which are relevant with all the SSC examinations as well. So in the SSC, CGL or JEE, you will find this level of questions. For the ALP and NTPC, yes, quite basic questions might come. So Ankita is the first one to answer it, and according to Ankita, the answer is first law of thermodynamics. But here the correct answer will be zeroth law of thermodynamics. The answer will be option number B. Zeroth law states that if system A is in the thermal equilibrium with system B and B is in equilibrium with C, then A and C are in the thermal equilibrium with each other. Here, correct answer was B. Next. Which wave characteristics of the sound determines the pitch or shrillness of the human voice? Is it amplitude, wave velocity in air, frequency of the sound vibration, or loudness level? So what do you think should be the correct answer in this case? So we have Sanjana here going with option number A. Okay. Ankita is also going with A. Utkarsh is also going with A. Guys, this answer is for the previous question or this one? Let me turn off this light first. Yeah. So you're giving the answer for the last question. Guys, for the case of amplitude, let me explain. When someone asks you about the loudness, when someone asks you about the loudness, at that time you can link it with the amplitude. So let's say this is a wave. Let me make wave for you. So let's say this is a wave. Fine. Now in this wave, the particles are continuously moving. So the point at which particle displaces maximum, it may be on the crest part or it may be on the trough part. So the particles are displacing maximum at this particular point, right? So this represents the amplitude, and amplitude is related with the loudness of the sound. So for the loudness, you can link with the amplitude. So here, amplitude would not be the answer. Uh, okay, fine, Sanjana, Utkarsh, and Ankita. So as discussed, loudness is linked with the amplitude. Okay. So which wave characteristics of the sound determines the pitch or shrillness of the human voice? This will be linked with the frequency. I'll go with frequency here. Fine. Acha, one more thing. Is there any other example for the pitch? Yes, we have. So whenever you fill a tumbler or a bucket with water, you might have seen when you are opening the tap, this sound, when it is created when the water touches the bucket for the first time, at that time sound is different. But as bucket keeps on filling, its sound keeps on changing. That can be linked with the pitch. Similarly, if I'll say, hello guys, how are you? So this voice is of higher pitch, and hello guys, are you able to understand this? This voice is of lower pitch, right? So yes, if I talk about this pitch, that's linked with the frequency basically. Okay, so here we'll go with option number C, that is frequency. And always remember, for the loudness of the sound, we link with the amplitude. So I guess this point is clear. Utkarsh, Sanjana, and Ankita. Always remember, because in the previous paper, there was a question where 4 graphs were given and it was asked which of the following options is showing the loudest sound. So loudest sound was with the loudest pitch basically, sorry, with the largest amplitude. Okay, great, Utkarsh, fine. So yes, subjective perception of the sound shrillness is directly dependent on the frequency. That's why frequency was the answer. High frequency is equal to high pitch. Female and child voices are generally having higher frequencies. And if I talk about this sound, hello. So this is the sound with the lower pitch. Okay. So loudness depends upon the amplitude, which you people have given the answer, not frequency. Sorted. Perfect. So guys, the next question is, what happens to the electrical resistance of an intrinsic semiconductor like that of silicon or germanium as its temperature increases? So electrical resistance will decrease, electrical resistance increases linearly, electrical resistance remains unchanged, or is it resistance drops to absolute zero? What should be the answer in this case? And guys, it's a humble request. Please focus on this point that it is not talking about metals, it is discussing about semiconductor. So since it is talking about the semiconductor, please answer accordingly. Waiting for the answer, please. No answers yet? No worries. So guys, I've already given you the hint. So you cannot go with the increment. Since it is about the semiconductor, Areva, that's great. So Ankita, Utkarsh, both of you are correct, and Sanjana, you have also given the answer. All the candidates who are going with A, that's correct. So electrical resistance actually decreases. That's great. So option number A will be the correct answer. The explanation is negative temperature coefficient. As temperature rises, covalent bonds break. It generates the free electrons and holes. Resistance drops, electrical conductivity increases, so resistance decreases. And for the metals, because here in the case of metals, just opposite concept is there. In the case of metals, or we can say conductors, they behave oppositely. Resistance increases with the temperature. So it depends. The question is asking about the metals, or is it asking about the semiconductor? Is it clear? So do not get confused in the examination. Okay, so this is also done. What about this question? The question is, which optical phenomena causes the clear daytime sky to appear blue to the human observers on Earth? Is it total internal reflection? Is it relay scattering of sunlight by atmospheric molecules? Is it specular reflection by the clouds, or is it gravitational lensing? So you have four options, and let us check what will be the correct answer here. No one? Yeah, so Utkarsh and Ankita has given the answer. And Sanjana, what do you think? What should be the correct answer here? Because guys, what happens whenever a sun ray is coming towards you, there are a lot of particles which are present in the atmosphere. So when the sun ray strikes the particle, these rays actually get deflected, right? It scatters. So the scattering is maximum for the violet color. I'll write the Vibgyor concept here. VIBGYOR. So when you will move from violet towards the red, the wavelength of the red color is the maximum. The wavelength of the red color is maximum. So we can say that the scattering is the minimum for the same, and the maximum scattering is for violet color. So scattering is maximum for the violet color. Here also the same concept is there. So that's the relay scattering of sunlight by atmospheric molecules, and the same explanation is given here too. The explanation is scattering intensity is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. For shorter wavelengths, it is blue light has the shortest wavelength and the red light has the maximum wavelength. So the scattering concept is just reciprocal, and human eye sensitivity makes the scattered light appear vivid blue. That's the reason. Okay, sorted. Next. So what is the question? According to the Kepler's third law of planetary motion, how is orbital period of a planet related to the semi-major axis of its orbit? Guys, the first law states that all the planets revolve around the Earth in an all the planets revolve around the Sun in an elliptical path, and Sun is presented one of its foci. That's the first law. The second law is the law of areas, where it explains that the square, where it explains that the area which is swept by the planet is same for all. That is, it sweeps equal areas in equal interval of time, right? And then we have Sachin here. So hi Sachin, how are you? After a long time, huh? Okay, so here third law states that the square of the time period is proportional to the cube of semi-major axis. So the square of time period is proportional to the cube of semi-major axis, and that can be seen here. So t square is directly proportional to the r cube, that is semi-major axis cube. This is the time period, so we'll go with option number D. So there are three laws which are mentioned here. So the third law is the square of the orbital period of a planet is directly proportional to the cube of semi-major axis, and that's the relation. So we have some of the comment. I need to check the comment which Sachin has given. Questions cannot be there in the Hindi medium. Sachin Kumarji, it's a humble request. Actually, the point is, since this channel is for the English medium part, and this channel is for the especially for the South Indian candidates, or for those candidates who are from pure English medium background. So questions cannot be in Hindi. So we'll take another classes for the Hindi medium section as well. So sorry to say, but this is actually the English medium platform. That's why. So this is not my personal platform. This is from the Oliveboard, and this channel is specifically for the English medium candidates. So it is in the growing phase. So slowly, this channel will grow. Okay, next. So this is sorted. Next, what is the question? The question is, which gaseous chemical compound commonly called laughing gas is widely utilized as a mild anesthetic and analgesic in dental surgical procedure? So is it NO? Is it NO2? Is it N2O? Or is it N2O4? So first of all, what is anesthesia? Anesthesia is the type of medicine, or we can say it's the type of drug which is used to make that area insensitive to the pain. So for the insensitivity to the pain, we go with anesthesia. What about analgesics? So analgesics are actually the painkillers. So painkillers are in the category of analgesics. Okay. So here, since it is talking about the laughing gas, so laughing gas is what? That's N2O. So that's nitrous oxide. And all the options are looking same except D. But the correct answer is option number C. So what is the correct answer? Option number C is the perfect answer, right? So that's great. Option number C is the correct answer. So N2O is the colorless, non-flammable gas with a slightly sweet odor. For the medical use, it's known as laughing gas, but it's used in the dentistry for the pain relief and the light anesthesia. That's also used as a propellant in the food aerosols and racing engine boosters. That's it. Next. The next question is, what is the precise chemical name and formula for plaster of Paris which sets into hard gypsum upon mixing it with the water? So CaSO4.2H2O, that's the formula for the gypsum, and when you heat up, it becomes plaster of Paris, where its formula is CaSO4.5H2O. So B is the correct answer. Since we have discussed this question in the past class also, I won't take time here. That's great. Ankita, Utkarsh, both of you are correct. The next question is, which chemical bond type is formed by the complete transfer of valence electrons from an electropositive metal atom to an electronegative non-metal atom? So that's the question from the chemical bonding. So we know there are different types of bonding. So first one is ionic bonding or electrovalent bonding, where one of the element donates the electron and another one actually gains the electron. So when electrons are donated, positive charge comes there, it becomes cation, and the element that gains the electron, that becomes anion, and that's the one which gains the electron, right? So Ankita is going with option number A, Utkarsh is also going with option number A. So ionic or electrovalent bond, that's the correct answer. What about covalent bond? In the covalent bond, mutual sharing is there, and that's in the case of CO2. And then we have coordinate bond, where lone pair of the electrons is used in the bonding, and here ammonium ion can be the answer. So that's great. Option number A was the correct answer. So it is formed by a complete transfer of electrons from metal to non-metal, just in case of sodium chloride. That's the common salt that we are using. So one electron is lost from the sodium, and chlorine actually gains one electron, and then they combine and it forms the electrovalent or ionic bond. That's great. Next. The next question is, what is the process of applying a thin protective layer of zinc onto the steel or iron sheets to prevent rusting? So for the anodizing, we were using aluminium, right? So aluminium cannot be the answer. In this case, galvanization is the answer, and Utkarsh and Ankita, oh sorry, only Utkarsh has given the answer. So that's galvanization. Option number D, absolutely correct. Guys, what is the atomic number of zinc? This question is also asked in the examination. So the atomic number of zinc is what? So the atomic number of zinc is 30. So 30 is the atomic number of zinc. This question was directly asked in ELP. Fine. Okay. So that's great again. Next. Which characteristic functional group is present in the organic carboxylic acid such as ethanoic acid, that is acetic acid? Is it alcohol, aldehyde, carboxylic acid, or ketone? So guys, since it is about OIC, so alcohol cannot be the answer. Guys, what do you think should be the correct answer here? If you are aware of the formula, everything will be easy. So since it is talking about Utkarsh is going with C, Ankita is also going with C. That is COOH. Okay. So let me write the formula for the better understanding, and it's CH3COOH. And if we are aware of the formula, we can take any of the answer. So as alcohol cannot be the answer, aldehyde cannot be the answer, ketone cannot be the answer. COOH, that is carboxylic acid, will be the correct answer. So for the case of alcohol, you can link it with ethanol or methanol, that is CS3OH or C2H5OH, that is the methanol or ethanol, right? So yes, C is the correct answer. Let's proceed further. Okay, so C is the perfect answer. Next, which gas is evolved at the anode during industrial electrolysis of aqueous sodium chloride, that is brine solution, in chlor-alkali process? Is it hydrogen gas, chlorine gas, oxygen, or sodium vapor? So you have four options. Tell me what should be the correct answer. Hydrogen, chlorine, oxygen, or sodium? Answer please. Both of you are going with B. That's great. So both of you are 100% correct. Chlorine is the correct answer, and here's the reaction for the same. So at the anode you will find this chlorine gas. So chlor-alkali process, that's the electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. And in the examination previously it was asked from brine as well. So which of the following is brine? So brine is actually NaCl. Okay. So chlorine gas is liberated by the oxidation of chloride ions, and at cathode you will find the hydrogen gas, which is liberated, and NaOH is formed in the solution. So anode and cathode. That's done. Next, what happens to the pH value of a pure water when an acid is added at the room temperature? Guys, some of you are preparing for the RRB JE as well, right? So last year, I mean last time, one examination was held this year itself. So last time the paper asked the question, and this was the question which was asked in the first CBT, that is in the CBT 1, and I guess you people have already given that examination. So Ankita, what happens to the pH value of the pure water when acid is added to it? So if pH of the normal water is 7, obviously when acid will be added, its pH value will decrease. So pH value is going to decrease below 7, and option number A will be the correct answer. So pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. pH scale was discovered by Soren Sorensen, and if the pH range is lesser than 7, it means it's acidic in nature. If it is exactly 7, that's neutral in nature, and if it is above 7, that's basic in nature, right? So that's correct. Option number A was the correct answer. Which reactive allotrope of elemental phosphorus is stored under water to prevent spontaneous combustion in contact with air? So red phosphorus, black phosphorus, violet phosphorus, or white phosphorus? What should be the answer for the same? Ankita is going with A. Okay. Utkarsh, at least give a try. Is it red, black, violet, or white phosphorus? No one. No worries. So guys, this time A maybe. But Ankita and Utkarsh, please remember this time A is not the answer. White phosphorus, that is option number D, is the correct answer. So we'll go with option number D, that is white phosphorus. So white phosphorus is highly reactive, translucent waxy solid with angular strain. So it ignites spontaneously in the air at 35 degrees centigrade to form the dense clouds of P4O10. So it is stored underwater as it is insoluble in water and does not react with it. Fine. One more thing, phosphorus, sodium, they all are highly reactive, right? So in the case of sodium, where is it kept? So sodium is not kept in water also. That's important to know. If I talk about sodium, sodium doesn't uh, sodium is not kept in water. Do you know what is the reason? It even reacts with the water. It can catch fire even in the water. So sodium is never kept in water. Sodium is kept in the kerosene oil. Sodium is kept in the kerosene oil, and you must remember this. Okay, fine. So that was about sodium. Sodium is highly reactive too. Next, which cellular organelle, which is known as suicide bags of the cell, contains hydrolytic enzymes that digest the worn out cell parts? Ribosome, that's known as the protein factory. So ribosome cannot be the answer. Lysosomes, yes, they are. Lysosomes are the ones which are known as suicidal packets. Yes, it contains the enzymes, and B is the answer. Both of you are correct. Then next, which complex vascular tissue in the plants is responsible for the translocation of synthesized food from leaves to the roots and growth organs? So will it be phloem, xylem, cambium, or sclerenchyma? So phloem is the one that helps in the transportation of the food and minerals. And xylem, from the word itself, it is clear. In Hindi, we'll link it with the jal, that is xylem. So that's linked with the transportation of the water. So it's asking for the translocation of the synthesized food from the leaves to roots. So for the food and minerals, we'll go with phloem, right? So Ankita is the first one to answer. Utkarsh, I was waiting for your answer too. So here, the correct answer is going to be your option number A. That's right. So option number A, that is phloem, is going to be the correct answer here. Next, so phloem, complex permanent tissue made up of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Its bidirectional translocation transports the soluble organic sucrose products from the leaves to rest of the plants, and xylem is linked with the transportation of the water and minerals. We have already discussed this, but one more thing, it's unidirectional in nature, that is from the roots towards the stems. Next, which blood cellular component is primarily responsible for initiating the blood coagulation and stopping bleeding in the injury site? Is it RBC, WBC, platelets, or plasma? RBC is helpful in the transportation of the oxygen. WBC is linked with the immunity, right? It keeps you healthy. That is, it fights with the foreign particles so that you remain safe and sound. What about platelets? So platelets are the ones which has the count of 1.5 to 4 lakhs, and that helps in the blood clotting. And yes, option number C is the correct answer. It's also known as thrombocytes. So thrombocytes, cell fragments produced from megakaryotes in the bone marrow. It releases thromboplastin, which converts prothrombin into thrombin, forming a fibrin clot. Next, which endocrine gland in the human body regulates basal metabolic rate and requires dietary iodine for hormone synthesis? Is it adrenal gland, pancreas, parathyroid, or thyroid? So your four options. Let us check who will give the correct answer. Answer please. So I'll give you the hint. That's also known as the largest endocrine gland. Utkarsh is the first one to answer this. It is D. Okay. And Ankita? Okay. So in doubt, huh? Okay. No worries. So yes, you are 100% correct. Utkarsh. Thyroid is the correct answer. So thyroid is butterfly shaped gland that is located in the neck below the larynx, and it generates the thyroxine. But it doesn't work properly if iodine is lacking. Because of the lack of iodine, it gets inflammation, and that's known as thyroid issue. Okay. So iodine is required, and deficiency leads to goiter. Next, which specific chamber of the human heart receives freshly oxygenated blood directly from the lungs via pulmonary arteries? For this case, our heart is divided into four chambers. This is right atrium, this one is right ventricle, this is left atrium, and guys, this is left ventricle. Fine. Now, when the blood enters, it enters through the superior vena cava via tricuspid valve. It reaches right ventricle. Now it reaches lungs with the help of pulmonary artery and the oxygenated blood. That is the blood with more amount of oxygen. That's actually obtained from this lungs portion. And first time the blood reaches left atrium, and hence we'll say left atrium is present here. So left atrium is the first one to receive the fresh oxygenated blood. So here the correct answer will be option number B, that is left atrium. Is it okay? So it's not left ventricle, Ankita and Utkarsh, it will be left atrium. So this time the answer will be left atrium. Fine. So that's done. Next, what's the next question? The next one is, which structural and microscopic unit inside the human kidneys filters blood plasma to generate urine? Is it nephron, neuron, alveolus, or hepatocytes? So that's obviously nephron. That are the functional units of the kidneys. So that's great. You're the first one to answer this. Next, which bone softening metabolic disease in adults is caused by deficiency of vitamin D and impaired calcium absorption? So is it rickets, osteoporosis, osteomalacia, or scurvy? So scurvy won't be the answer. The reason is, in the case of scurvy, uh, that's the bleeding of from the gums. And one more thing, if you're not having lemon or citrus fruits, this issue might come, right? So that's because of lack of vitamin C. So that's not the answer. In the case of rickets, that's the bowing of the legs, and that's because of deficiency of the vitamin D. But it's not talking about the bowing of the legs. It's saying it's the bone softening metabolic disease in the adults. So it's not rickets. Rickets basically takes place in the childhood, where the bones are actually in the bow shaped, especially the legs. So that's why, Utkarsh Ankita, please focus here. The correct answer will be osteomalacia. Osteomalacia actually occurs in the adults. So these type of questions creates confusion, and for the same reason I'm keeping this C. Question looks easy, but the point is, by looking at the first option we click on it. So that's why I say these sessions are very important. Okay. Acha, one more thing. For these type of questions, you can do one thing. If you want to practice them, you can go to the Oliveboard's website. In the Oliveboard's website, when you just click on the first link, you can go here with the test and PYP plus past life test, and here you can just choose you're going for banking or examination or SSC examination. Let's say you're preparing for SSC exam. So what you'll do, go with the test option, click on SSC CGL tier 1 if you're preparing for tier 1. Here you can see tier 1 live test, tier 2 test, all the type of tests are here. You can even just click here and you can just go with the topic wise test, sectional test, GK test. So let's say we are going with GK test. So in the GK test, see, we have current affairs of June 2026. You can just take test from here. We have advanced GK of June 2026. You can take the test from here. So we'll just click here, and now you can start the test and see. In this way, you will get the test. So that's it from the GK portion, and you can just click on your correct response and you can just save and next. In this way, you will just get those 25 questions which are important for examination. So you can start giving tests in this way. Next, so getting back to a point. Okay, so here C was the correct answer. So these tests will be helpful for you people. Next, which digestive enzyme present in the human saliva initiates the breakdown of complex starch into simpler maltose sugar in the oral cavity? Is it pepsin, salivary amylase, trypsin, or pancreatic lipase? What should be the answer for the same? Which digestive enzyme present in the human saliva helps in the breakdown of complex starch? So guys, whether it is asking about the starch or is it asking about the carbohydrate, the answer will be same. So amylase is the one that is helping in the digestion of the starch, and here we are finding it here. So that is salivary amylase or tyline. That's option number B. And Utkarsh and Ankita, this time I'll say salute man. Perfect. Acha guys, what about pepsin? So pepsin is the one that is helping in the digestion of the protein. Then we have lipase. Lipase is actually helping in the digestion of the fats. Fine. So okay, let's go with the final question then. Acha guys, after every session I'm sharing these PDFs. I guess you all are taking it. So you can either take these PDFs with the detailed explanation from the Oliveboard's website, or also you can take these PDFs from the Telegram channel. I'll just show you the Telegram channel also. But that's the homework question for you all. Which plant hormone exists as GAS at the ambient room temperature and is widely used for artificial ripening of green harvested fruits? So is it auxin, abscisic acid, cytokinin, or ethylene? So I want to know what will be the correct answer, and also please let me know, is this level okay for you people? So guys, I'm not going with that basic level because I'm damn sure you are aware of those particular questions. If you want that I should go with that basic level also, I can start with that basic level, but this is the real level. These questions are asked in the examination. That's why I say these are the most expected questions basically. So please let me know in the comment section, should we continue with the same level, or if you're from the basic part, I can also start the basic level questions first, because it's already 10 days done. So that's the 11th set that we are taking today. So will this level be okay? Same level? Okay, Utkarsh. So since you people are okay with this level, so this is the real level. These type of questions are found in the examination. So since your basics are clear, we can go with this. But yes, every day I'll keep these type of questions, and also we'll go with the detailed explanation. So you can join my session daily at 12 from Monday to Friday. Fine. So thank you. Utkarsh, if possible, please give it this answer in the comment section, and also let me know how is this session. Are you liking this classes? So that's all from mine. Bye bye guys. Take care. Jai Hind. And for the examination, all the very best. We'll meet tomorrow now at sharp 12 for next 25 questions. Take care guys. Bye bye.